Hello and welcome. Today I am looking at Canada, which seems to be telling a story of a two-sided economy. I am joined by Diana Petramala from TD Bank in Toronto. Hello, Diana. Canada has left interest rates unchanged today despite signs of an economic revival. Why have the rates stayed the same?
Yeah, economic momentum has been really good in the second half of 2014. We've had really good real GDP growth. Household spending remained quite strong. The concern here is the recent drop in the price of oil. So the WTI, West Texas Intermediate price of oil has fallen about 39% since September. Canada is a heavy oil exporting country, so the concern is that the impact will be significant on incomes in the country. So the concern really is that the recent drop in commodity prices could potentially temper that momentum going into 2015.
And how is the strengthening U.S. economy affecting Canada?
Yeah, if we look past the price declines in energy prices, we've actually seen a really good revival in the amount of goods we're exporting, particularly to the U.S. So Canada's export sector is actually doing really good. Our energy exports are rising, but so are our non-energy exports. And in the third quarter, Canadian exports actually surpassed their pre-recession peaks. And, we haven't had a whole lot of growth in the Canadian export sector since between 2000 and 2013, but 2014 is the first time that we've actually seen significant growth in Canadian exports. And this is largely a function of the fact that the U.S. economy, despite, some government constraints to economic growth, the private sector is actually doing quite well.
Finally, what else is key for Canada now and in longer terms?
The key focus for Canada has been the level of household debt and the level of home prices. It's largely believed that Canadian households are over-indebted and the housing market is overvalued and set for a correction. We don't think that the housing market is set for a correction, nor do we expect to see the same type of consumer deleveraging that we saw in the U.S., but we do think as interest rates rise, we could potentially see a slowdown in household spending and a slight unwinding in the Canadian housing market. So over the long term, we do expect these two key factors to be constraints to economic growth, even as the export sector starts to pick up.
Thank you very much for joining us. That's it for today. Goodbye.